Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Dhena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can just move it.
Surya Prajapati
philosopher, maintainer of the universe, our regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the members of mankind. Please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays, that I can see a form of bliss. During this transformation of smelted body, let the sun as the mind. Let this temporary body be burnt to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you, and since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins, so that there will be no hindrance in my progress.
Shri Shapanishad ki jai. Let's just do that too. Oh, we're going to go around? And the breath work. Let's try it. You need this.
2 lines of the last verse. Going on Sintal and then coming back into 2-Tal. Then we'll go back to verse number 1 after the last 2 lines.
Yeah, so go back to the 4th verse.
4th verse, last 2 lines. You all ready?
Yeah. Ready.
I can't tell. Come on. Okay, listen. Anyone I didn't bring my speaker, so you got to be quiet. Anyone who has accepted the 2 lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya as his only asset knows the true essence of devotional service. The heart of anyone who gives submissive oral reception to the pleasing and sweet pastime of Lord Chaitanya immediately becomes cleansed of all material contamination. Close the door, please. Anyone who simply chants the name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya will immediately develop love of Godhead. I offer him all congratulations saying, bravo! Everyone say, bravo! If anyone feels ecstasy and cries by simply hearing the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu, he at once understands the eternal loving affairs between Radha and Krishna. Anyone who has understood that the associates of Lord Chaitanya are eternally liberated souls immediately becomes eligible to enter into the abode of Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan, in his next birth. If anyone understands that there is no difference between Gauda Mundala, the place in West Bengal wherein Lord Chaitanya had his pastimes, and the transcendental abode of Sri Vrindavan Dham, then he actually lives in Vrindavan. Anyone who takes pleasure in sporting within the waves of the ocean of Lord Chaitanya's distribution of love of Godhead immediately becomes a confidential devotee of Sri Radha Madhava. It does not matter whether such a devotee is in the renounced order of life or whether he is a householder. If he is actually taking part in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan activities and actually understanding what it is, then such a person is always liberated. Narottam Das aspires for his association. Do you know what happened to my bag? Is it still sitting in the hallway? Can you... So... Actually, I can always take this up. So, let's have a Kirtan there. That's me. Did you record what we just did now? I know, but I'm listening and you're staying here. I'm going off to my floor and we're going to play the tune there too. The deal was at the end. Because tomorrow's a holiday.
I have to study.
You have to study for your lecture? Okay. none other than Vaisesika. You brought that thing in early. We haven't heard one note out of that. What do you got? Any tune?
I know one of the ones that you sing, but it's a scale lower.
Okay.
Hare
Ukulele Kirtan Ki. In Japan, they do almost all the kirtans with ukulele. Sounds really nice downtown Tokyo. You can hear the music going off into the distance, and people really like it. Beautiful instrument. So we're gonna word for the day. Do you have chalk? Are we gonna need? Okay. SOTER. You gotta write large. SOTERIOLOGY.
Chair means
You know what it means? Listen.
Write the meaning. We don't even know what the meaning is.
The doctrine of salvation.
Who said? Oh, you looked it up.
What's the doctrine? The Bhagavad-gita is the primary soteriology for mankind.
Listen.
Soteriology.
Everyone repeat.
Soteriology.
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 The theory dealing with salvation, especially as affected by Jesus Christ. Greek soterion means salvation. From soter, savior, plus English logi.
What's the language?
Science.
You want to come here?
So what does it mean? What's soteriology? Theology dealing with salvation. Theology dealing with salvation. If I said to you theology dealing with salvation, what word do you think you use? You'd say?
Soteriology.
Soteriology.
Soteriology. Soteriology. Soteriology.
So now, yes.
What is the language of origin?
Greek. So now, Balaram, tell the parameters of your Sankirtan meeting that you want to have now.
Okay. You can start.
You start. Stand up.
So,
Stand up.
today we're gonna brainstorm our goals for this year for Team of ISV. Everybody knows what the Team of ISV is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, right? Yeah, so we're gonna brainstorm all our goals. We're gonna narrow it down to 3 at the end. So we're gonna do this for a few minutes, 10 minutes, I guess. We're gonna write them all on the board, and at the end we'll narrow it down.
Everybody's free to volunteer.
Yes, everybody just raise your hand, and Vaisesika will facilitate.
Okay, now we have a clean board. So this is a good place to start because everything that we have in our life gets manifested by the mercy of the Lord, but we're little parts and parcels. So we can also create. So any kinds of ideas that we have start from a subtle level and then they manifest to growth. So when we're conceiving of things, we're envisioning. And from envisioning, then if we organize it, then we can start moving by the Lord's grace in that direction. So with a blank slate, anything's possible. And so now you want to brainstorm the ideas to make a specific statement of what you're brainstorming here.
Our goals for this year, what we want to accomplish.
Okay. And are you going to facilitate?
Like,
You want me to? Okay. So now we're going to come up with the minimum of 41 goals, and then we're going to boil it down to at least to about 3. The main goals. We'll pick out the top 3. So let's start suggesting some goals. You're going to have to be really efficient the way you write. No wasted space there because there's a lot of goals coming up. So you could start with,
Yeah, you can give
what I suggest is you start with places, first of all, just considering what are room for improvement in the kids' Sankirtan. And then from there we'll start manifesting some goals, okay? So let's talk about what are the room for improvement for the kids' Sankirtan team?
Anybody, you can just raise your hand if you want to speak. Okay, go.
have a minimum participation rate of 50%. By the end of the year? By the end of the year, yeah.
This is just brainstorming, so it doesn't have to be perfectly formed, even if you just have ideas. And don't hold back. Anything that goes, we'll whittle it down later. Room for improvement.
Do like a number of books, like for each person, like every single time, you know.
Make a personal goal for each person.
Make a personal goal.
Everybody should make their own individual.
Individual goal.
Don't forget room for improvement also. It doesn't have to be in the form of a goal. Yes.
A few people, they didn't know they had to go, right now, they didn't know they had to go to Madhav every time they did a book. Okay, now they're not going to give to Madhav later. So a few of the books weren't counted, so the reports.
So yeah, so basically use the website.
I think it's put in twice, like you put it in.
No, I want you to put it more.
So does the person put it in or does Madhav put it in?
No, like whoever on their phone, people go to the person.
So you're asking for a better system of recording scores. Is that correct?
Yeah. And then like each book to you. So do you put it in or
What did you write?
There's only one. They can tell one.
It's a room for improvement. Investigate a better system of reporting scores. Distributed.
Anyone
What
else?
else? What are room for improvements? What did you see where there's gaps? Where you need to improve?
Maybe we should learn how to distribute SV like some of us don't.
Okay, more training in Srimad Bhagavatam sets, right? Need more training, yes.
To help with training, I think we could have like a flip book for each area or each team. So we could like make multiple copies of flip books because I noticed flip books really help.
Flip books. Make flip books for each team. What else? Keep them coming. Vrindavan? What?
I'll just put spreadsheet.
Like most of us know how to put this in Srimad Bhagavatam, but we haven't like really covered Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we should have a flip book for CC too.
Okay. Flip book for CC. What else? Yes.
language cards.
Okay, language card for each team. Are you allowing everyone to participate or only kids?
It's supposed to be like only kids.
I know you're a kid at heart, but they told me that ahead of time, so I'm facilitating here. So that's all. Anybody? Okay, yes?
Oh yeah,
Okay, keep them coming, yes.
I have a question. What is a flip book?
Flip book.
The one with the pictures in it.
it's like it's hard, but it's
It's a little book that takes people, it tells them a story and it tells what they get from taking a set of them. Like a flip chart, it's used for selling stuff.
Maybe some kids could go with Madhav Govind Pro every week.
Okay, send out kids to apprentice with Madhav Govinda. How many of you have apprenticed with Madhav Govinda so far? Did it help?
Yes.
On a scale of 10, 10 being the best experience you ever had, and 1 being you wish you'd stay home, which was it? 20. Okay, that's definitely good. Okay, 11. Okay, what else? Keep them coming, yes.
Sometimes when people stop to take a book, many people join in, and it's many people, basically they cramp the area.
Cramp the style. You're cramping other people's styles, right? Yeah, that's definitely, put that one down. Book distribution etiquette. No cutting in, no helping, unless somebody asks you to. We should have some rules about etiquette. Bye.
To add on to sometimes when they cut it, they don't know some of the things that the other people are getting.
Is everybody listening? Is everyone focused?
Repeat.
You got to hear this.
Louder.
So, adding on Gora's point, some people, they don't know who cut in. They don't know what the people who started were saying. So they might repeat, yes.
Okay, same thing. You're just supporting his point. It's down there, yes. Communication skills. What's the verb? Inculcate. Communication skills, right? Does everybody know what inculcate means?
To harbor and
To
develop through repetition or teaching.
Inculcate. 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 Okay. Okay, more.
When you're doing distribution, this is by yourself too. You can set goals for yourself, and then it's gonna be easier for you guys to report cards.
Okay, personal goals. Put a little check mark by it. It was done twice, so that emphasizes it. What else? Keep flowing. Just let it go. Stream of consciousness. Where's there room for improvement? Yes.
I feel especially with the little kids, they'll stand at the intersection between the two streets, and then it'll be a bunch of fruit flies running around holding books. And the people who are coming in are trying to get around there, and they'll shove the books into their hands, and everyone, they'll get overwhelmed, and then I've seen people go back the other direction or something, and they won't be able to cross our Harinam way. So I feel maybe we should split the kids into different territories, kind of you go here, you go there, and then you go in the
And
back.
shouldn't they be trained also a little better?
Yeah.
So training young kids and splitting them up for the Harinam and other places too, right? That's a good one. Very important. Oh, thank you very much. Okay.
For the cards, we when we have to get from the road into the sidewalk, sometimes
Can everyone hear him?
No.
Okay, try it again.
Secure the
Close that
cards
door.
more, so the books don't fall off from the book cards.
Okay, so what about the book cards? Give us specific for number 11. Tell us what the improvement is.
So, I don't know what they're called, but tie them with rope so they don't fall off. Tie what?
The books on the cards? On the cards?
Yeah.
So how about those bungee cords?
Yeah.
Bungee cords with the hooks, right? Get bungee cords with hooks for the book cards so the books don't fall off. That's very practical. Balaram?
Involve parents because some kids don't have phones and they can't report their scores, so we can ask parents to make an account on the website and also report scores for their kids instead of delaying that and getting inaccurate scores.
Can you put it in a sutra?
Involve parents also in reporting.
Involve parents in reporting? Because kids don't have smartphones?
Yeah.
You're lucky. Okay, yes.
We should also, in the books, we should always keep a card because many times after they read the book, they might not know where to come if they liked it.
Okay. So put cards, follow-up cards inside the books, right? Do you have an idea what kind of information would be on it?
You could just put temple cards.
Just put the temple cards inside the
Not
book?
always people have the temple cards.
Okay. All right. Yes?
Maybe you could like edit the temple cards because the temple cards, the timings are off and it's very hard to read and it needs to be updated.
Okay, put it down. That came up in the General Assembly also. Molly's indicating that they're working on it. Yes?
Earlier we used to put stickers on our books so that they'd know where to come if we didn't have cards and stuff. And we should start putting stickers on books.
Okay, stickerize the books. Yes, goodbye?
Sometimes I see that on the same street, there's one person on a far away and another person over the right, and a person comes walking, and a kid who's there, he distributes these, he doesn't give the book, but he asks, and the person says no, and he keeps on walking, and then another person is a little more far away, so they get distributed twice.
Yeah, it's part of the what Vrinda brought up. You brought that up about, is that you? Yeah. Someone said about training up. So making sure there's etiquette in communication, so we're not talking to people twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times on the same block. We have an awareness, right? So you see somebody else approach somebody, they say no, then you don't go run after it, right? Okay, what else?
But like every time when I go to distribution at Mother, she has to always start with a compliment so people can like stop and then so we could like try that for.
Learn to use compliments. Sincere compliments. You have Balaram and then Avantika. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So basically try to develop a more adaptable dialogue for like different types of people, like judging on the way they're reciprocating to our initial questions. Because I feel like we use the same type of format for every person and sometimes it doesn't work. So
okay, so like the sutrize it.
Like, so to develop a more adaptable dialogue.
Okay, like a template that would include varieties of dialogues that you can use for different kinds of people, right?
Yes.
I like that. That's really good. Avantika.
I think, like over there, you're talking about language cards, but I think we can have like an actual like language seminar, like a class where we can like go over pronunciation and other things.
Yes, that's good. Language seminars. So like you could have a language of the month. And like, learn 12 new languages for the year or something like that, right? That would be really good. That could go with all the cards. Who's next? Vrindavan? Go ahead.
Well, that's kind of related.
Arushi, go ahead.
So we could give the people ISV's email phone number if they really like the book.
So put it down. Put the email phone number if they really like the book. That way they can call us back, right?
Yeah, and then we could say something.
Very good idea. I like that a lot. Okay. Yes?
Adding on to Vrindavan's one, you can also try to hook them by giving them prasadam first.
Ooh, give them prasadam first. Okay, that's good. Yes?
I've also noticed when you go to door-to-door book distribution, when like you start saying no, you keep on trying to push them.
Like push them past them.
Okay, yes. He's saying, so what is the improvement you want to make?
Not to force them.
Okay, don't force. How about the positive side? Learn to leave everyone with a good impression. And that includes not forcing people if they already say no, right? It's an art to feel where people are, because if we don't apply a little bit of pressure, then sometimes we notice people change their minds. It happens a lot. But you have to know when enough's enough, and you're not pushing anymore, because then people might become offended. You have to learn. So you have to learn that science, right? Okay, good.
I was just going to say that it's like also an offense to instruct the faithful on the holy name.
Yeah, he's giving praman to support his point, that it's an offense to instruct people who are not interested in the whole. Right? Very good. Good support. Yes?
And sometimes it's like, adding on to Bhagavad point, sometimes when the people don't want the book, we put too much philosophy on them. Like we're giving them philosophical answers, but I don't think they really understand what we're saying.
So what's your practical suggestion?
So we should give them like practical answers what they would understand.
Practical answers they can understand.
Use
I
like
that.
use relevant terms like
Use
yoga,
relevant
like
terms and give
meditation.
them practical instructions. Okay? Balaram, there you are.
Sometimes when younger kids come in, like they like play with the toys in the home and like they jump on the sofa sometimes.
Okay.
That kind of gives a bad impression.
So this distribution etiquette it goes under, right? Put another check. Every time we get a new a double like that, put a check by it that's been mentioned a bunch of times, because that sounds like a really big one. This might boil down to one of those being on the top of the list, right? Okay, what else? Yes.
Yeah, back to the terms and practical ideas. I remember once, I forgot who I was distributing with, but we distributed to a Chinese person, and then someone started like quoting shlokas, and he had like no idea what was happening. So I think we should like relatable.
This is that was up there too. Relevant.
Yeah.
Relevant terms. Another check. Very good. Yes.
Bring more language books, because sometimes we meet someone and they ask us for language and we end up not having
Okay, make sure that there's sufficient language books. You can research the area you're going to and make sure you have a special box that has a variety of all the books that you might need, so you don't miss anybody.
I also think because kids book distribution is also oriented around CC and Bhagavatam, to bring language Bhagavatams too, because recently we met someone and I don't know what happened after, but he wanted a Gujarati or Gujarati Bhagavatam, and then yeah, but then like I feel like we should do it immediately because they might change their mind in between.
Okay, language Bhagavatam sets. Make sure that you're equipped when you're going to certain areas. What else?
Yes. You can like track where we've already finished, like where we have gone before. Like sometimes when we've like finished half of that apartment, we're like discussing for a few 30 minutes or so, like where we should start because we have no idea.
I like it.
Keep track.
Yeah, tracking system. You could put a dot of invisible ultraviolet sensitive paint and then have some goggles that you wear and you can look around the whole neighborhood and go dun dun dun. But that's a good point. If you have a system when you go into a place where you can measure and count where you've already gone, that really helps out. More scientific. Yes.
I remember in the seminar that took place, you said that we could do something like SMS, the Sankirtan management system. So I think that also could be part of that. So like if there was like a map or something that like pinpoints each location.
Yes, that's true. We were working on that technology so that we can mark wherever we went, where we distributed a book. Because the phone's tracking you everywhere you go anyway, right? And in this technology, you just hit the button every time you sell a book or go somewhere, and it drops a marker right on that space, so you can look at it later. Okay. Yes, sir.
Like in Harinam, next to the book table, we could keep prasadam table so the people could get like attracted to prasadam. And then
Okay, more prasadam on the book table.
Not on the book table. Like
Next to the book table.
Yeah, next to the book table. We do. So yeah, we have one.
All ideas are valid. We'll sort them out later, so don't hold back on anything. Go ahead.
Like we have a sign for the free books. Maybe
Yeah.
we should have another type of sign, like saying free vegetarian food.
Okay, signs, prasadam, sign. Yes.
More in prasadam, I feel like even though we say that, yeah, we should always have prasadam, a lot of the times we don't, and just on like everyday book distribution, it's really good to have, because that like gets people.
So how could you solve that? Give us.
We should have like, a set of people that like make like small cookies or something for each.
Like you should have a prasadam czar.
Or
Somebody who's a team that takes care of making sure prasadam, first class prasadam comes out every time, right? Because that's nice when you got first class prasadam to give out. I like that. Okay. Prasadam sign, prasadam team. Designated prasadam team, right? Yes, Babaji.
It's not really a book distribution, but you should start a restaurant.
Put it on there. Everything goes here. We'll start a restaurant. You guys can all run it. Okay?
Rotate like who gets to talk because
You all better learn to cook pretty fast. All right, go ahead.
like sometimes like one person talks for the whole thing and like there's 5 other people just standing there watching, and maybe it's better like people are aware that other people can also like say some points also, and not in an awkward way, but like you should practice it and rehearse it before.
Okay, rehearsed presentations, better orchestration, right? Orchestrated presentations that are pre-practiced. I like that. That's very nice. That could go a long way. Why?
You know the sign that says free prasadam? Free books? Some people, they go to the book stand and they say, oh, but it says free books, but now you're asking for donation.
Do they say that?
I also say that.
We always tell them the donation's optional. So
No, we tell them like the small books are free, the big books are donations.
Anyway, put that on there because that has to be really clarified carefully. We can't be saying free and then, it has to be very clear up front. So that's a very important point. What else? What's that? Okay, anyone else? Keep coming. Where are we now? We're at 32. We need another 10. Yes.
maybe before everyone goes to books, someone could like talk about a verse in Bhagavad-gita that talks about how awesome spreading Krishna
Oh, I like that.
so that everyone is motivated throughout
Verse
the
of
whole
the
time.
day. Like that? Verse of the day and somebody presents so we stay focused on the shlokas, right? Okay.
Before giving the person a book, we should probably look how interested they are, because sometimes we give them a small book, but then they're so interested, we give them another book, but then they're kind of like, oh wow, another book, but I don't think they're like, it's kind of weird for them that why did you do that book first?
I see. So, could you formulate that into a room for improvement?
Maybe before we give a book, we should look how interested they are.
Assess interest before piling books. Give appropriate number and kind of book to each person. Is that what you're saying? Okay. You sensitive? Yeah.
So sometimes some kids they go on book distributing out alone. So we need some adults book all
They
alone.
do?
Yeah.
Okay, so security system for kids.
That's really important.
Security system, very important. They should put a star by that one. Safety first, in quotation marks. Safety first. Upper May.
Also, we should have like a select number of kids per adult, because I feel like sometimes there's like too many adults and one kid, or like there's 100 kids and like one adult, and then it kind of goes haywire.
So proper ratio of kids to adults. That's an important point. Yes, Babaji.
And in good kids book distribution, mostly the kids play all the time, and then they don't book distribute, and the adults have to do the whole
Is that true all the time?
Because you get
50-50.
You gotta have a little fun.
75%.
So say what you want. 75% they play?
Yeah.
So what ratio do you want for play?
25.
25, 75?
Yeah.
I think book distribution.
Put adjust play distribution ratio.
And the kids have to talk.
And what?
And the kids have to be the ones who talk instead of the adults, because
So sometimes the adults hog everything. Okay, so let kids lead the conversation, lead the presentation. What else? Somebody else, yeah.
We should not get playthings to the book distribution. We can, sometimes people get a bunch of accessories instead of their books. They get a bunch of accessories to play.
You mean bring that to the distribution? I'm missing all the fun. Huh? I didn't know that.
And also, we should have snacks for
Oh, you say bring the stuff so that you can take a break and actually play.
No, don't bring them.
Oh, don't
But
bring
bring snacks.
Oh, no.
And the snacks will be all
You can bring them, but only for
So you're saying now the kids are bringing bats and balls and stuff like that?
Yes.
And then they break away really fast.
Yeah.
So, maybe calibrate it, or, right? You want to adjust it so it's not playing all the
Or
time.
maybe you can keep it in the car till it's like break time.
It's cookie time.
It is? That was perfect timing. We were just talking about it. Bottom was just saying we needed more prashad. You recognize that, right? I want to hear a shloka, otherwise we can't.
There's so much happening. He's been waiting.
Now you can start eating.
We're at 38 though. You got a few more to go.
It's because I was worried. Yeah, you had a good thing to like
pretty worried.
Akadina Shanti Mure Krishna Prema Aishena Koro Ashtadana Jadabhuti Hari Hari Prasara Kori Hari Hari Bolo Sarvajaya Hari Hari Bolo Sarvajaya. Do you all want to finish this?
Yes. Yeah.
You gotta go wash up though. Go wash your hands and come back.
I love it.
Oh wait, I am singing. I know how to play Happy Birthday. Big deal.
Oh, you're learning keyboard now?
No, I did piano for like a while.
Oh, okay. And so what kind of things can you do? Can you read music?
Yeah, I can read music.
Are you playing harmonium too?
I mean, I tried, but I'm like not good at the whole like here and then play thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really get that far in that sense.
How did everybody, all the guests go home?
Yeah.
They're happy?
Yes. They like your talk.
They like what? They like the talk?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Nice. And we're connected up with them, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She's the woman who me and Advaita distributed to.
Yeah, Jessica, the lady,
You met her on the Harino?
Yeah, and then we talked to her. And she said she was going to come, but like I didn't think she was actually going to come.
That's always amazing when they
And I was
do,
like,
right?
oh my god.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I was like, if she ends up getting initiated, forget her. I was like, forget her happiest day. It will be my happiest day ever.
You get the great gift of going back to Godhead.
I know.
That's good.
How did you know that you're going to go back
Yeah,
to
she's
Godhead?
very nice.
How did you know she's going to go back
And
to
then
Godhead?
also Matthew, right?
Yeah, he's chants every day. He does 27 times.
Matthew's he was also there tonight. Did you see him? He's in the Stanford PhD program in philosophy. And before that, he went to
Cal Poly.
Cal Poly. That's a good school. He's really bright.
He's really good. He actually was telling after he did his bachelor's, he actually wanted to go to the mountains.
He wanted to go to the mountains?
Yeah, then his father told him you don't have an option. He told him 3 options. Either go for a job or go for or leave the house and then don't come back.
You told me about him. Of course. We're never going to stop. We're not done yet.
Could I write?
We gotta finish up so we can all go home.
We need a writer. I can write
You may not be sure, but you gotta get up and chant your rounds, right? So you gotta chant your rounds early. Okay, we're almost done. Okay. It's almost 9 o'clock. I have to go pretty soon because I'm leaving on Tuesday and I gotta pack in the whole thing. All right. Okay. No more kartals. No more ukulele. No more talking on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nacheri Armarma. We gotta finish what we started here. This is very important.
Okay, back to the.
Close the door, please.
We're not like, make them feel that they're safe and like we're not trying to like brainwash them.
Make them feel they're safe and that it's, we're not fanatics or trying to brainwash them or something like that, right? Yeah, that has to do with, it's very similar to one of the other ones I think that was on there. About not pushing people too far, stuff like that. I think that gets an extra check mark.
I think we should start book distribution earlier because it always gets dark and then people tend to not open the doors after it gets dark.
Okay, so start earlier. Before it gets dark. Yes, sir.
Sometimes it gets dark and then they won't just start.
Another check by start earlier. Arushi?
So you could start at, let's see, 5 o'clock.
Okay, put down there 5 o'clock. Start at 5 o'clock. Yes. Okay. 5 o'clock a.m. Okay. Definitely people will be home, right, Arushi?
We should keep like a particular person getting the book because sometimes.
Listen. He's got a good one here. Listen to it.
We should know who's bringing the books because sometimes we expect somebody to bring their books, but it ends up that they didn't even know they were supposed to.
Okay, supply chain management. Supply chain management. Make sure you know. What?
That's 41.
Okay, 41. Supply chain management. That's what we're doing. Last one. Avai's got the final word here.
Sometimes in the middle of a distribution, like SP or Bhagavad-gita, a person from another group says, "Oh, we need a Krishna book." From the person who's talking, or something like that, and then they take the book from the bag while the person is talking, and that kind of shows a bad impression.
So put it in a sutra. What's the positive suggestions?
Keep books ready.
Keep all types of books at your hand.
Okay, is that similar to any of the other ones that we already put up?
Or we can also have it one
It's a superset of the land.
Inventory management, something like that? And don't steal books from other devotees? Inventory. We'll have some penalty. Okay, so for now we have 42. Balaram, Apame, where are you? So you want to boil them down now?
Should we read through them first?
Want what?
Should we read through all 40?
Yeah, let's do. Okay, hold on. Trika's going to read them all from the top.
Okay.
Everyone be quiet.
And then how are we going to...
You read them from the computer?
The same, because I typed it all out.
How'd you do that?
My mom typed half of it.
Okay.
All right, you do half and she'll do half.
All right. So,
Okay, everyone listen.
have a minimum participation rate of 50%. Have an individual goal for every person. Report the books distributed. Investigate better system of reporting scores. More training in Srimad Bhagavatam, and like including like flip books and then a CC flip book. And then language cards, and send out kids with mentors like Monica and Prabhu. And don't cram everyone, which includes book distribution etiquette. And then incorporate like communication skills. Oh, inculcate communication. And then split the little kids into like little groups, and then again train them with more book distribution etiquette.
Okay.
And then get bungee cords for the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Good.
And then involve parents in reporting scores.
Okay.
Put follow-up cards inside the books, and then edit the temple cards for timing. Stickerize the books. Learn how to use compliments in your sales pitch.
Good.
Then develop a template for a dialogue. You could do language seminars and like language of the month.
Yes.
And then get the contact info for people who are interested.
Good.
Hook them in by giving them prasadam.
Good.
Leave everyone with a good impression.
Okay, that's it. Now, go ahead. Read
22.
22 onward.
No, but like,
What happened?
Just continue.
Dog ate my homework?
Let's go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Use relatable terms and practical ideas. Make sure there's enough language books. Track where we've gone with a tracking system, like where we distribute it. And then Nihar said Sankirtan management system. Then more prasadam next to the books. Put a prasadam sign. Make a specific prasadam team. Start a restaurant. Take turns talking. Do rehearsed presentations and clarify the free book sign. Then you could also do verse of the day and assess interest before distribution. Make sure adults are there and like a security system and safety first.
Yeah.
And then do a proper ratio of kids to adults for every door.
Yeah.
And make sure 75% of the books and then 25% you can play.
Right.
And then let the kids lead the presentation. And don't bring like toys or balls or cricket bats or anything to books. And you can bring snacks. Create a safe environment and start before it gets dark, preferably 5 a.m. Do a supply chain management and also manage your inventory, so enough books.
What do you think?
Yeah.
It's good. Who's got it all down digitally? Do we get the whole thing?
Yeah.
Perfectly?
Yes, I got
And
it.
it's saved? You saved it?
I got it on
Saved on the desktop? Niharika also wrote it down?
She wants to take a picture.
We have redundant systems in place. Okay, very good. So now, yes?
Yeah, so we tried to boil it down to like about 10, and so we'll read them out. If anybody has anything else to add from the thing or anything else in general,
Okay.
let
So
us know.
you're going to read us the top 10, you think our priorities, and if somebody wants to adjust that, then they can make a statement.
Top 10. So,
Top 10 to start off.
adult safety, which is number 1, safety.
Yes. Adult safety.
Use website to report your scores and stuff.
Okay.
And develop a plan for every house, like template. And we have training.
Yeah.
Then we have location tracking.
Training is more specific. Training is like for etiquette, communication, and book distribution skills. Put
Yes.
all three in one, right?
And we have location tracking, prasadam, assess interest and when to leave, and proper ratio of kids to
What
adults.
do you have besides just the word prasadam?
We just wrote prasadam, like
Because you're going to refer back to it.
prasadam
Because
team.
it's more accurate, you're going to say prasadam team.
Prasadam team, sign and book table.
Prasadam team for those getting the books.
Prasadam team.
Those distributed.
Put a team together so you make sure you got first class prasadam and you always have prasadam. That could be your motto.
And then we have proper ratio of kids to adults. and play and distribution ratio 25% and 75% respectively.
You'll have to have a home monitor for that.
Anything else anybody wants to add? One or two points?
Maybe the language seminar. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The which?
The language seminar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think language
That's
is
a
one.
nice one, isn't it?
Well,
I
we
mean,
did
that's
like
exciting.
1 or 2 seconds.
I think you should put that way up there, a language
Few
seminar,
greeting sentences.
like once a month. Greeting sentences and maybe you
Go
learn
ahead.
like, you learn a saying in each language.
I think two of them were the same, like the location was similar to one of the other ones in the beginning, like I think the further.
I thought that too. Something about reporting scores by always using the
Website.
But maybe that's concomitant. They happen at the same time, right?
So why not at the end?
Because the scoring system and maybe is that what you meant?
It's a live score.
And I meant the one where it said location, like keeping track of the location in the apartment book distribution. And one of the previous ones, like the fourth or fifth one they put up, it was kind of similar. So.
Okay, 2 more minutes.
So we lose like a couple more people.
And make sure these are like
Either way
main.
it goes.
Like we should make the other people feel safe. Like sometimes people think we're doing it for something.
What we're doing now, we
we
already
have
got
safety
everything.
first.
Yeah,
Safety first, we have that, but they read out 10 of them that they say a priority we're going to first work on first. And if you have any other ideas about what we should work on first, then that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, etiquette.
You got that.
We got that.
That's on there.
Maybe instead of a website, we should have like an app or something.
It's a web app, so
And it takes very less data.
yeah. Optimized for that. Aname?
I'm
Priority.
not sure if you have it, but it's like training kids.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
Training's in there.
Is that part of etiquette?
Top 10.
For the training, I think we should think about flip-books too. Oh yeah, flip-books.
Okay, put that in there. You can throw that in training.
Oh,
You'll be good in Congress or the Senate because you always slip things in the bill when you're being passed.
Let's go ahead.
Verse of the day.
Verse of the day, okay. Like
That's
team.
nice to have in there.
Align.
cards. We should edit the cards, otherwise people will come before language.
That's already in the
It's
general.
not that you're not going to do the other ones. It's just you're just getting a starting off point. So maybe the first quarter you do this, second quarter you can do all the other things, or maybe you finish these things really quick and you can do the other stuff. Right?
Anything else?
Wait, so what are the 10?
Reading.
Okay, so we have 11 at the moment. Are those safety?
Louder.
Language seminar, use website, develop a plan for every house, training, etiquette, communication skills, and flipbooks. Location tracking, prasadam team, sign, book table. Okay, assess interest and when to leave. Proper ratio of kids to adults. Play and distribution ratio of 25% to 75%. And verse of the day.
So what I was saying before, it's a develop the houses. It's kind of similar to location.
So for that we mean like dialogue, specific dialogues, not like
Rehearse.
like stuff that we're gonna do.
We'll talk.
So like maybe just write template for dialogue. Anything else, or should we wrap up? So like
Do you already have goals? Do you set goals for yourself for the year?
per MSF.
Okay. Good. All right. Go ahead.
So for everybody, like, if you have time, at least like log in and register to the website so that you can access, know our followers and know what goals you have to achieve. And it's tiny.cc/ticksite. Yeah.
Hold on, short right now.
Tiny.cc.
Yeah.
Slash.
Ticksite.
That's the tiny.
But that's the tiny dot.
Yeah.
So
It'll redirect to the website.
Wait, what is it?
it's tiny.cc/ticksite.
Go to read that. Oh, wait, yes.
We'll even also, like, on the way out, we'll display the website and the office room.
So I'd appreciate it if you make me a few slides before the GBC meeting in Mayapur, so I can show what the kids, how the kids team is working.
Okay.
If you could, I mean, like a minimum of 5 or 6 slides. I will do a presentation at the beginning of the GBC meeting, and if I show them what you're all doing, you can put together a PowerPoint before the end of the month.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
Yes.
I mean, you can do more slides than that, but show your tick site and any of the other kind of things, maybe some photos and any of your top goals, things like that, any of your scores. Because part of our mission is always internal, that we're keeping goals so that we can advance ourselves, but we always want to export it as well. Because we're thinking about how incubate ideas here and then spread them around the world. So what you all can be thinking about is how to transplant what you're doing with the kids team here to kids all over the movement. So like send your technologies out, and maybe we'll even send you out to the different places. So you could go and meet with the kids teams there. You know, you pick some of your leaders to go to different places, and then you go to these different temples. You could do some rock and Kirtan, and then you could take them out on Sankirtan and show them how you do it. And then also show them how to organize. You get the team organized there. So you should be thinking like that, how to package everything so you can export it so it could go all over the world, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, for the website, do you need to log in?
You have to make an account so you can just register.
I mean, you can view the stuff, but like to edit the scores.
Yeah, I'm on the website right now.
Oh yeah, you have to make it.
Do you need an email?
Yes.
Yes.
You can use your parents.
Huh?
Yes.
Or your brothers.
So we'll end the meeting by another prayer. Someone make one more prayer. Yes.
Oh my Lord, please bless all of the kids and all the people of ISV to be constantly motivated to serve you in your movement, so that we may do bigger and bigger and constantly improve. All people might have a chance to serve you.
Hari I declare this meeting a yajna of complete success. Keep working on these small improvements and keep developing your team. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time for more. Hare Krishna.
Natchari Armarman, Natchari Armarman, Natchari Armarman, Natchari Armarman, hey, Natchari Armarman, Natchari Armarman, Natchari Armarman, Natchari Armarman.